Good afternoon, morning, evening, or night, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Alex, and this episode's subject comes in from Anton, who asks, what do you think about mobile gaming? Do you think in 2020 that consoles will be discontinued or continued as it is? What are your thoughts about that? Now, mobile gaming, what do I think about it? Well, first off, consoles are not going to be discontinued in 5 years. There's absolutely no way in hell. The PS4 and the Xbox One are the fastest, or the PS4 in particular, is the fastest selling console of all time, even outpacing the Wii at this point. So there's no way that they're just going to suddenly discontinue after then. If anything, console gaming is bigger than it's ever been, and I expect it is going to keep growing in that sort of direction. But at the same time, mobile gaming is growing, is a huge, huge industry. But I feel like it has its own place. It feels separate to me than the other sort of gaming space. I've been noticing recently that on TV, a lot of adverts now are adverts for mobile games, like free mobile games that are like, hey, look, go download this for free and play it right now on the tablet you've got right next to you. But I feel like mobile games, I think it's a different audience. It's a more casual audience. I hate sort of branding people as the casual, the hardcore, and all that, but I do feel like it is maybe targeting a younger audience, a more casual audience, a larger, more broad audience than something like the rabid gamers are. Because the problem I have personally with mobile gaming, going back to what do I think about it, is I do appreciate what it is. I like things like Plants vs Zombies and all that sort of thing, but it can't at the moment replicate the quality, the AAA values of some of the things that is like you couldn't have the immersive world of Skyrim. You couldn't have these big epic stories of like Halo and all these things like that. It just can't happen on a mobile device. As well as, I don't know if you mean particularly mobile gaming as in iPads and phones and that sort of thing, or if you mean more broadly like the DS and the Vita. I'm going to focus more on mobile and touch gaming in particular. One of the biggest problems I have with it personally is the fact that you don't have any sort of tactile way of controlling it without it being just on a touchpad. So you don't have any thumbsticks or a D-pad or anything like that. And I find I remember buying the Dead Space game on my on an iPod I got years and years ago, and I'm sure the game is quite fun, but it just doesn't feel responsive or snappy to control with these weird virtual thumbsticks on a touchscreen. It just doesn't work, and until they can figure out some way to use the touchscreen, or maybe use some buttons or something, some sort of peripheral, I don't feel like touch gaming is ever gonna outpace, or it might outpace consoles, just in terms of more people having phones, everyone having tablets and everything. But that's still a different space. You're still gonna have the console market, but until then, I mean, it's not going to even compare in terms maybe of just AAA quality. But even with that being said, have a think about how quickly the mobile market has advanced. Like when you first start getting iPhones and iPads, to when you started getting these 3D games like Dead Space and what's the sword game from Epic Games, Infinity Blade 1 and 2. Like it is, the quality of them is outpacing sort of how the development of the 20 or 30 years it's taken for the consoles to gradually get to the way they are now. But still, as I was saying, I don't think anything's really going to change that much in terms of people moving away from consoles or something. Or I remember before the Xbox One and PS4 came out, a lot of companies were predicting that because it was like near the end of the 360 and PS3 life cycles, that they thought console gaming was dying out. Partially also because the Wii U and how badly it was performing at the time. But then, of course, it's been completely blown out the water thanks to the next gen consoles and how popular they are. But yeah, console gaming is not going away anywhere anytime soon. And with mobile gaming, I'm not really bothered about it myself. It doesn't. At the same time, it doesn't bother me that other people do enjoy it, that there is another audience that are getting into games maybe because of these mobile things. So yeah, it's that's pretty much my thoughts on it. So, what do you think? Are there any mobile games that you think really are on the same level as AAA games? Do you think mobile gaming is somehow bad for the industry? Tell me in the comments below. And as always, thanks for watching. All comments and ratings are very much appreciated. And make sure you leave a suggestion for future Job Labs. I'll see you next time. Bye. And it just doesn't pay off for the studios, so they just don't bother doing it again. They make the money from these dumb kids movies that all end with fucking dance sequences at the end, and that works for them, so they just aren't motivated to even bother trying. And it really, really sucks, because I think animation has easily the most potential to be the most powerful and best way to tell a story. Any story. You're not limited by anything. You're not limited by, or apart from a budget, but you're not limited by